Hi everyone, Salesforce Consulting and Admin Training, day 6. So today's agenda is we'll quickly go through the previous session and we'll talk about the standard list view, just a recap. Then we will talk about the how records are displayed in list view and filter logic in Lightning, and how the list view is displaying is what kind of a filters are available based on owner, based on filter, based on logic. Whoever is taking the notes, please take it. Lightning list view versus classic list view. What is the differences between the Lightning list view and classic list view? And how can we see the charts? And if I have to create a new chart, how can we create a new chart? And if I wanted to edit the list view, if I wanted to edit the list view, or if I want to refresh, which all are list views, we can edit it, which all are list view, we can refresh it. Now, next one is a display as a lightning. Display as lightning. What is the option display as lightning? And display as classic, what is the option? How can I print the list view? Is there a way to print the list view? Ascending order, descending order, alphabets, all in classic. Similarly in Lightning. Pagination in classic. Custom list view. Creating a custom list view. And cloning the existing list view. Can I clone the existing list view? That means whatever the standard list views I have, can I clone that? And then renaming the existing list view. Is it possible if I have to rename? Like I have a birthday this month, is the list view which is available. Can I rename that? Custom list view visibility. How can we view the custom list view? And list view controls edit list filter. What are the different controllers we have in the edit list filter? And the list view controller, select field display, field to display. Is there any fields that I can select it? Now, by default, it is showing the first name, last name, and email. Can I add any other fields in order to see that in the list view? List view controller delete. Can I delete the list views? Standard list view recently viewed and homework and the trailhead interview questions. Those are the one. So now the first one is, as we have discussed, all contacts. All contacts is displaying the all the contacts. Birthday this month. That means displaying the month of this birthday month. And bulk SMS displays the records that are added to send the SMS bulk. And my contact display only the records created by the users or a owner, not display the other users. Right now you are in a developer edition. Right now you are in a developer edition. So when you are in a developer edition, usually your my contacts and the all contacts both are displaying the same list, because in your org, in your developer org, you are only the person. There are no users are there. Only you are using it. No other users are there. No other users are there. I'll show that once we have completed. So my contacts is basically when you have you are working in a developer edition. In the developer edition, the list, whatever you are seeing the list, my contacts and all the contacts both are same, because the organization that you are using, you are the only user. Nobody is using your organization. So in the real time, when you are working on a project, you have a 4 or 5 developers. In that scenario, when you have a 4 or 5 developers, in that scenario, it is a different, because when you are working in a company as a end user or as a admin, client admin, you should be able to see the records only the one which you have created. Only the one which you have created. So usually it happens with the client admin team. New last week. So this is the records created in the last week. New this week. Display the record created this week. And then recently viewed contacts. Recently viewed contacts. That means display only the recently viewed contacts. Recently viewed pinned list. Display the records from recently pinned list. Now these are the 8 which we know. These list views are for the lightning. Last 8th one is for lightning. 1 to 7 is for lightning as well as the classic. So 8th one does not have a classic view. 8th one does not have a classic view. Now let's move on. So the first one which we are going to see is how records are displayed in a list view. How records are displayed in a list view. Now filter logic. So here, if you observe filter logic, this side, the right side, right? This side, it is going to display the list view. This side, it is going to display the list view. Now in the right side, you have an option here, which is a filter. You have an option here, filter. So this is the filter. When you click on this filter, it displays the filter logic here, filter by owner. It has a filter by owner, birth date, because we are viewing the list view of that particular. So filter is going to display only the one which you are right now in. Only the one which you are right now in. That means if you are in a birthday this month, if you click on this, only it will show the filter related to that particular list view. If you have selected as a all contact, okay, or if you have selected as a my contacts, when you select a my contacts and if you click on the filter, it shows the filter related to the my contacts. So filter is always have a connection with this. Which are the list view you are viewing, only that particular list view you can click on a filter. Only that particular list view you can click on a filter. When you click on a filter, it has a 3 kind of a thing. One is based on the owner. Second one is based on a filter. Here we have a add filter, right? And the third one is a based on filter logic. Based on filter logic. 3 things is very important in the filter. When you click on the filter, do you want to filter based on the owner? Do you want to filter based on the, is there any other filter that you wanted to place it? Based on add filter logic. Now let me show you that. Let's go to the Salesforce. Let's go to the contact. Now, but observe one thing here for the recently viewed. Whenever you are in a recently viewed, your filter will be disabled. You cannot view the filter for the one recently viewed. Recently viewed does not have a filter. Sales, you cannot change. Basically, for the recently viewed, you cannot change anything here. This is Salesforce is providing. For this, it does not have a filter. You cannot change anything for this. Now let's go to the all contacts. As soon as you select any other contact, any other list view, now here it is, the filter is enabled. Now if you click on this filter, now it is showing as a filter by owner. Now here for the all contacts, this filter is different. If I go to the different one, now this one has a different filter. And if I go to the different list view, this has a different filter. So that means filter is based on the list view. Which list view you are selecting here? Based on that, this filter logic will be keep on changing. This filter logic keep on changing. Now, similarly, you know that recently viewed contacts, right? So this is available, but only the one which is recently viewed pin. Only the one recently viewed pin. Recently viewed pin does not have it, but others recently viewed contact and whatever other is there, they have it. Now, for example, if I go to the bulk SMS contact, if I click on this, it has a filter by owner, filter by filter, what are the logic you wanted to apply, and also you have a different things. If I open the birthday this month, now you can see filter by owner, add filter, filter logic. Add filter, filter logic. Total 3 are there. Now, is this standard? This one filter by owner, add filter, filter logic. It's not a standard. It's not a standard. It changes based on your selection. Based on selection. But for custom filter, custom list view, it is the same. For standard, it changes this, but custom list view, we are going to create a custom list view. For the custom list view, it will be the same. Now, the first one is a based on owner. Based on owner. For based on owner, when you click on it, for based on owner, when you click on this, it is showing that filter by owner. Filter by owner. That means you have a filter by all contacts, my contacts, filter by scope. Filter by scope. Now all contacts you know, my contacts you know, filter by scope. Filter by scope is maybe you wanted to filter by anything. Like this is a search campaign. Now I wanted to see only I don't want the filter owner by, but it is basically scope and I wanted to give it as a scope. Now, as soon as you change here, now click on a save. As soon as change here, you click on a save. Right now, we do not have anything. So that's the reason we cannot see. So this filter by campaign name is a optional. Filter by campaign name is a optional. Either you can select it, you can leave it. Right? Usually in the real time, for birthday this month, it is all contacts. It is all contacts. Whenever you change it, immediately save and cancel button will be enabled here. Immediately save and cancel button will be enabled here. Now, if you click on a save, it is going to save. Now, similarly, we have a based on filter. Based on filter. So based on filter is after the filter owner, you have this based on filter. Here I am giving a birthday equal to this month. Birthday equal to this month. So this is the based on the filter. Now if you want to add your own filter, you can add it. This is Salesforce is providing, but if you want to add anything, you can add it. Like for example, I'll say that account active equal to yes. Account active equal to yes. This is my filter. This is my filter. So click on save. Now here we have added the 2 filters. Here we have added the 2 filters. Based on filter is, now you have a 10,000 records in the database. You have a 10,000 records in the database. When you have a 10,000 records in the database, right? So you have a 10,000 records in the database. Now, do you want to pull all the records into the list view? No, right? So because every list view has their own criteria. Somebody says that I wanted to get the contact list wherever the account equal to this particular account, or if the account active, only the contacts that I wanted to see wherever the account is active. In that case, we will put a filter. So that's the reason every list view have a filter. Now it is out of 10,000, maybe possible that only 5 records are qualifying it. So I wanted to display only the 5 records. I wanted to display only the 5 records. Now, when you add a multiple filters, assume that here you are saying that birthday equal to this month, account active equal to yes. Now, does two filters need to be qualified? That means if I wanted to display here, these two conditions has to be qualified. These two conditions has to be qualified. That means if these both are true, then only display here. That is totally fine. But if you have a scenario that either it should qualify the first filter true or second condition true, record might not be having a both of them. Record might not be having a both of them. In that case, you have a third one which is called as a filter logic. Filter logic. Now here if you say or condition, now in my case it's not a and, either first one is true or a second one is true. Either first one is a true or second one is a true. Now let's say that if you want to take another contact email not equal to null. Now let's click on it, save. Now what happened? Either this or this, or condition. Or condition. It has a or condition. So first it will check whether the first condition is meeting or not. No, it does not have any records with this. Now go to the second filter. For the second filter, now check here for the second filter, email not equal to null. We have mentioned. That means whatever the records that has an email, print all those records. Print all those records. Now, out of 10,000, we have 23 items where the email ID is available. Now, in case if you want a different filter, no, I do not want a email. So account active equal to yes. Click on done. Now let's save this. Now again, this filter is going to display. Now here displaying the 19 records. That means out of 50 records, 19 records contact account is active. This particular account active is equal to so if I go to this particular account, if I go to that particular account, now in this account, go to the detail section. In the detail section, you have a one field called active. You have one field called active. So this is the active. Now, what is the filter I have kept it? The filter which I have kept it is account active equal to true. Account active equal to true. Only display that particular records. Only display that particular records. So that is the condition which I have applied here. Account active equal to true. 1 or 2. If you say and, click on save. So what will happen? Now it is 1 and 2. Both the conditions has to be true. Both the conditions has to be true. Then only it will display the records. Then only it will display the records. This is the filter. That means what kind of a data that you wanted to see in the list view is based on this. What kind of a data that you wanted to see, what kind of a records you wanted to see, what kind of a records you wanted to see is decided by the filter. Now, any times, if you see that, now if you see any time, like for example, new last week, it is not giving the correct information. It is not giving the correct information. In case anytime you see that it is not giving me the correct information, click on this filter and check what is the filter by owner and what is the filter. that you have applied and what is the filter logic. If it is only one filter, there won't be any logic. If it is only one filter, there won't be any logic. Now you always check this filter so that you will understand what kind of a records that I'm viewing here. Now here filter criteria that I have created date equal to last week. Created date equal to last week. So that's the reason it is displaying the last week records. Now, before moving on, any questions on the filter?
Ma'am, how do you write the filter logic for 3 filters? 1 and
So
2
if
and
you
3?
have a 3 filters, let's take it here. Click on done. I'm adding the one more. Account active equal to yes. And I'll add another one. Let's say that account. Let's check contact email not equal to null. Contact email not equal to null. Click on done. Now I have a 3 filters. Now let me click on this add filter logic. So when you click on add filter logic, automatically it will be added because whenever you add this, Salesforce is keep on adding the filter here. Now you decided what kind of a criteria you want. Let's assume that you are saying that, okay, 1 is very important. I need to have a 1, but between the 2 and 3, I need either second filter should be qualified or a third filter should be qualified. In that case, 1 and 2 open brace, then you have to specify OR condition. You have to specify OR condition. 1 and 2 open braces, 2 or 3 close. This is 1 has to be must. Between the 2 and 3 can be second filter might be true or can be third filter might be true. Or else if you have a condition, no, third filter has to be there. Third filter has to be there. Now in that case, third filter has to be there. In that case, what you can do is put a AND condition here because third filter is needed. But between the 1 and 2, between the 1 and 2 might be 1 might be true or 2 might be true. So in that case, put 1 or 2, 1 or 2, and then add an AND condition and then 3. AND condition and 3. So you need to, as a developer, we need to decide it. Do I need a 3 filters? Must. That means if the record is showing it, if here the record is showing it, all 3 filters has to be qualified. If you have that kind of a logic, then everywhere you have to put a AND condition. But in case, if you have one of the filter is excused, that means out of these 2 filters, 2 and 3, either 2 should be true or either 3 should be true. In that case, what you will put is put here OR. But you need to differentiate. In order to differentiate, you are putting the open parenthesis and close parenthesis. So that means what will happen? This logic will be, this logic will be now here, for example, out of 2 or 3, 2 is a true, right? And 3 is a false. Now between these 2 are false, it became a true because it's a OR condition. Now first one is definitely has to be true. So true and true, it became a true. Now let's assume that first one is a false. First criteria is false. And out of this 2 and 3, 2 or 3, assume that second one is a false, third one is a true. So in that case, it will come as a true. Any of one is a true, then it will become a true. So that means if I have a second one false, if I have a third one is a true. Okay. If out of these 2 and 3, any one is a true, then it will definitely comes into the true. Now, if it is the first one is a true and first one is a false and the second one is a true, what is the result? False and
False.
true?
False.
It's a false. So this is the logic, mathematical logic. So now whenever you are adding here filter, now you check here what is the outcome, which one outcome you want. Now in that case, if I save this, click on save, it is showing the 31 records, it became a 23 records. Any other questions? So if you hover this particular icon, it shows that filter logic, how and when filter apply to your list view. Use and operation. Switch off cameras, please.
Ma'am, can we apply this filter logic to like custom list view also?
Yes.
Okay.
How many filters can we add, ma'am, altogether? Is there a limit?
Maximum you can add 5, but don't go for more than 5. Because
Okay.
later it is too confusing. In real time, maximum we will take it as a max of max 4 filters, we will take it in real time.
Thank you, ma'am.
But you can add whatever the filters you want, you can add it. Right? Any other questions on this? Now let's move on it. Now, if you hover on this particular one, filter logic, it says that filter logic governs how and when filter apply to your list view. And then it says that use and or operator to find true your result. That means in order to make the condition true, which are the like if you have a fourth, like if for example, if you have a 5 conditions, 5 filters are there. Now out of these 5 filters, which all are conditions you wanted to use between and or operator, right? So that you need to decide it. Let's move on. Now the differences between what is the differences between the viewing the list view in Lightning? What is the differences between the viewing the list view in Lightning and viewing the list view in Classic? Now, when you look at in the Lightning, Lightning has divided, let me show you first Classical, then we will go to the Lightning. Now you know right now how the Lightning is displays the data. Lightning is displaying the data. Now let me go to the Classic. Yes. Any questions?
చూడవా పక్క పెట్టిన చూడు ఏంటి 10,000 కట్టా నిన్ను ఎప్పుడు చూస్తావు.
So in order to switch to the Classic, so click on this view profile and click on this switch to Classic view. Switch to Classic view. Now, here let me go to the contact. Now this is the place in the Lightning. Now, right now I'm in the Lightning. In the Lightning, here you can see the list view. Whereas in Classic, you will view the list of, you will view the list here. You will view the list here. All contacts, birthday this month, bulk SMS contacts, my contact, right? whatever we can see, here is the list view in Classic. Now, if you want to create a new list view, now here is the option for you to create a new list view. Here is the option to create a new list view. But where is the option in the Lightning to create a list view? In Classic, you can clearly see that you have an option here. You have an option here. Here it says create a new view. Create new view. But where is the Lightning side? Lightning side, you need to click on this setting icon. You need to click on this setting icon. Where is this setting icon? On the list, in the same page of list view. Wherever you see the filters here. So filters are completely right side, and then this side you have a setting, which is beside the search list. You have a setting. When you click on a setting, you will see option called as a new. You will see option called as a new. Now in Classic, this is the place. In the Lightning, here is the one. So when you click on this new, now I'm clicking on the new in both the sides. In both the sides, I'm clicking on a new. Now when you click on a new, Classic has different steps. I'll come to the Lightning later. Classic has step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. There are 4 steps are there in the Classic. Step 1, view name. Whatever the name is there, that means you need to enter your list view, custom list view name. This is the unique name automatically taken by the system when you enter the view name. Second one is specify filter criteria. So filter by owner is a all contacts, my contacts. This you choose it in the step 2. In the step 2, you choose this. Step 2 is a filter criteria. Step 3 is a what fields to be displayed. Step 1 is a custom list view name. Step 2 is a filter criteria. What kind of a filter criteria that you wanted to place it. Step 3, what fields that you wanted to display in the new custom list view. Step 4 is the restrict the visibility. Do you want to show this list view to the everybody? Or is this list view only visible to me? Or do you want to share this list view with specific groups? For example, in your company, you have a different groups, sales group, service group, right? Like that. So if you want to share this list view to the service group, then you can share it here. If you want to share this list view with all the users who are there in the organization, everybody should be able to view this list view. In that case, second one. Right? This is how in the Classic. But how about in the Lightning? When I click on a new, right here, I have an option called new. When I click on a new, it is simply asking the only step 1 and a step 4. It is only asking the step 1 and a step 4. The first one is displaying it, and the last one is displaying in the new list view. List name, list API name, and who all can see the list view. So what happened to step 2 and step 3? Now let's go ahead and see that. Now you know the option. Where is the new button in the Lightning, right? When you click on the setting icon, you will see the list view controllers. In this list view controllers, right? And in the Classic, when you click on a create new, so you have a new option. So when you click on a new in Classic, here is the option for creating a new list view. In Lightning, here is the option to create a new one. When you click on a new, now this is the screen that appears in the lightning. This is the screen that appears in the lightning. Whereas when you click on a new in the classic, it opens up the 4 steps of the screen. It opens up the 4 steps of the screen. Now, let's compare it between the lightning and classic. Now we know that the first one, enter view name, which is, and then step 2, filter criteria. Step 3, filter to display. Step 4, restrict to visibility. Now these are the 4 steps which are available in the classic. Now this is called as a list view name. The step 1 is called as a list view name. And step 2 is called as a filter criteria. Step 3 is called as a select fields to display. Step 4 is restrict the visibility. Now, the first one, list view name, is here it is. List view name and list view API name, right? The step 1 is, this is the one. And the 4th step, restrict the visibility, is here in the lightning. Who all can see? And what about the step 2 and step 4? Step 2 is becoming another button in the lightning. Step 2 is becoming another button. That means another option in the lightning. Now in the settings, you are clicking on a new button, right? Once you are done with creating a new button, you have to click on the edit list filter. You need to click on the edit list filter. Now the third one is fields to display. Fields to display also became another option in the lightning. Select field to display. So basically, whatever the classic view is there, the classic view in the lightning, it is divided into piece by piece. It is divided into piece by piece. That means in classic, when you click on a create new view, whatever the step 1, step 4 become in the one box. Step 2 is converted as another option. Step 3 is converted as another option, right? And then we have in case if you want to delete it. In case if you want to delete it, here is the option to delete it. Here is the option to delete in classic. Now this option became here. This option became one option in the lightning. So anything that you wanted to do related to list view, all the options are available in the setting icon, right? This, whatever the setting icon is there, if you click on this arrow button, you will see all the options here. Any questions, confusion between the lightning and classic?
No.
Okay, offline. Okay. Now let's move on. Okay. Quiz. How many options does FilterLogic contains?
3.
3.
Okay, what are those?
Based on owner,
Based on owner, based on filter, based on
Filter
and based on filter logic.
Offline. Okay, so what is filter by owner? What is filter by owner?
It differs based on selection. List view selection. It is different.
Based on the owner who created the record.
What are the options can I see when I click on the filter by owner?
All contact, my contact.
Device scope.
Okay, What is based on filter? Offline. What is based on filter?
Display the records if the filter is passed.
Based on how you want to check the how do you want to view the records, like condition?
Right. So how can we view the records? So if I want to view the record in certain conditions, then we will use that. What is filter logic?
It is a condition between
Adding
two filters.
multiple conditions.
Combination of
And
multiple.
then multiple conditions and
Combination of multiple conditions. How can we specify the condition?
and or.
Yes. Let's move on to the next one. Charts. In Salesforce, basically charts are available only in the Lightning. It is not available in the Classic. In the Classic, you do not have a charts. You cannot view the charts. That option is not available in Classic. So charts are available only in the Lightning. Only in the Lightning. Now, where can I see the charts? For example, I have here new last week. Now, beside this filter, we have a something called charts. Beside the filter, we have a charts. Now, there are three types of charts. Vertical, horizontal, donut. Three type of charts. Only you can create a either vertical chart, or whether you can create a horizontal chart, or you can create a donut chart. Only three charts are available. Now, where can I see those charts? Now, here is the beside the filter, you have an icon called chart, right? It is always hidden. If you click on it, it will open up the chart. Now, here in the chart, you have a setting icon. In the chart, there is a setting icon. So if you click on this setting icon, it displays the display as vertical bar chart or horizontal chart or donut chart. Vertical bar chart, horizontal chart, and the donut chart. If you want to create a new chart, you can create it. It's totally fine. But by default, Salesforce is giving three charts. That means as soon as you create a chart, as soon as you create a custom list view, Salesforce automatically adds the chart. Now, if you want to modify that, you can modify it. Now, for example, right now, whatever you are seeing it, what type of a chart it is? It is
Circle.
donut charts.
Donut chart.
Donut charts are similar to the donuts in the US. So whoever does not know donut, in India, it's called as a, I don't know, it is called as a vada or something. The round and the circle is there. It's a kind of a donuts, right? So that's the symbol here. So by looking at this, you can understand this is a donut chart. And vertical bar is, if you select the vertical bar, it displays in the kind of a vertical bar. That means single line, the straight line. And whatever you are seeing here count, the count, that is basically how many records are there. Now, what is this? It is giving here, it is giving the contacts by account. Here is the option, contacts by account. That means each account, how many contacts are there. So this is one account has a 4 contacts, and this is another account has a 2 contacts. This is another account has a 2 contacts, and this is another account has a contact. Now, how can we display that, whether how this data, how it is coming? No problem. So on top, you have a filter. You choose create contacted by lead source. When you choose a contacts by lead source, it will comes as a contacts by lead source. Now by default, it goes to the donor. Now here it is the lead source. We have a different lead source: web, trade show, external referral, other, word of a mouth, not specified, public relations. Lead source are basically how did you hear how did you hear this particular product details? So through the web, through the trade show, through the external referral, through the word of mouth, or not specified, or through the public relations or other. So here public relation has a 7 contacts, and not specified has a 3 contacts. If you hover it, it is clearly saying here on top, it is saying that lead source is public relations and the contact ID is 7. Similarly, other, lead source is other, contact ID is 4. Now, if you want to see in the horizontal, select the horizontal. Select the horizontal. So it will become a horizontal. Now this side it is a lead source, this side it is a contact ID. Now if you want to change the filter again, you can change it. Now, once you change it, not only in the graph, but below also the data will be displayed. Like here is the gas card, 4 contacts, Infosys company account, 2 contacts. Below also, you will see the data. So this is available for custom list view, standard list view. Custom list view, standard list view. But for the pinned one, for the pinned recently viewed pinned list, you will not see charts. You will not see charts, or you will not see the filter also. If you want to see, you have to click on recently viewed contacts. Instead of a pinned one, you have to click on a recently viewed contacts and click on this. Now you can see here how many records I have viewed it. It is contacts by account. The filter is automatically comes here, the filter. So contacts by account, contacts by lead source. Can I modify it? You cannot modify the standard chart. You cannot modify the standard chart. If you want to create it, you can click on this new chart. Whatever the standard one is, standard one you cannot modify it, but you can click on the new chart. When you click on the new chart, you can specify here. Now I need a contacts. I'll say that contacts details, chart type is horizontal, aggregate type. Do you want a count of it, or do you want a sum of it, or do you want an average, Let's say that average instead of a count, and let's take it as an average. Now here mailing latitude, right? Mailing longitude, this is aggregate field. And if you want a group by account name, or a group by birthday date, group by contact, group by created by, whatever you wanted to do, you can do it. If you do not want to aggregate type, so I'll say that, okay, I need a sum. Whatever the aggregate type is there, just select it. For example, I need a sum of, let's take what options we have. Let's take as a lead source, group by lead source. Click on save. That means you are creating here new one. Now contacts, contact details. Now you can see here whatever the chart you are added, you can see here. Whatever the chart you have added, you can see. Contact details. These two are by default. Contact by account, contact by lead source. This is default. Now contact details is saying that I do not have anything, right? So it says that, okay, so in case after creating it, if you want to edit this, again click on a setting, click on a edit chart. Now this time I'm going to say that sum of, instead of a lead source, let's click on a account name, click on save. Now still it is not coming. Now let's go ahead and check edit chart, contact details. Let's take the donut, sum of let's take the count, and field should be account name or take the another field. Let's take the account name only, click on save. So right now there are no records because we just started our creating the records here. So we do not have, this is the recently viewed. Now let me go to the all contacts. In all contacts, you will not see whatever I have created there. Here is the one. So by default, it will not show, but you can view here contact details. You can view here contact details. So when you select the other one, it will display the data. When you select the contact details, it will display the data here. What is this? Click on edit. Click on save, group by field. Okay, so let me change the aggregate one. Aggregate email. Click on save. See here, this is our chart. This is our chart. So contact details, what it is displaying it. Let me move to the horizontal. Now what it is displaying here, account ID, email. That means here for this account ID, there are 4 emails are there. There are 4 emails. Aggregate field. So when I say aggregate field is nothing but aggregation, that means it's kind of a group by, right? So for example, I wanted to know in an account, so I have a one account. Now let's assume that I have a one account. This is an account. For this account, assume that this is XYZ account. This account, there are multiple contacts are there. There are multiple contacts are there. So for this multiple contacts, possible that there is for each one of them has an email ID. For each one of them, email ID. So this has a different email, right? This has a email 1. This has email 1. And this has the email 2. Different email is there. And this has the same email similar to the first one. And this has a different one. Now basically aggregate is nothing but we are forming as a group. Now email 1, I'll form it as a group. This is one group. This is one group. Now again we have another group, email 2. email 2 is only one. But even if it is a one or if it is a multiple, what I'm doing here, I'm formatting them as a group. Now, second one, this is the second one. And then we have a third one. Third one, also another group. So whether you have a one email ID or a more than one email ID, basically what are the records I have, these are the single records. These are the single record. And this single record, what are the common fields is there? That common field, I'm combining them as a group. I'm forming a group. So that means this contact should go into the one group. And this contact, if any other contact has a email 2, that is also should go to this group. Email 3 also should go to this group. So for example, I have another contact. I have another contact. This contact is also having a email 2. There is a common field. So email 2. So whenever it is record is created, ultimately it will go and sit into this group. So aggregate is nothing but either you are forming into a specific box or you are forming as a group. Individual records you are forming as a group and sending them that group to the anybody whoever is requested. Now how can I group it? How can I group it? So I can group it based on the account name. I can group it based on the first name, I can group it based on the last name, or I can group it based on the mailing city, mobile number. I don't think so. Mobile number is common. Account name. So possible that few accounts might be the same. Now this is also account name. Then I'll keep this grouping field, this aggregate field, both are different here. Grouping field, aggregate field is both are different. Now this grouping field is just there. But here, whenever it is displaying here, it is a based on your this group field is going to display here. Right? Based on this, it is going to display here. Now it says that per account, how many emails are there? This is another group field. Let's assume contacts. Click on save. Now what it is saying right now, everybody goes to the same one. Everybody goes to the same one. What it is saying that here, master record ID and the account ID. Why it is coming master record ID? Click on edit chart, because what we are doing here we are account name, right? And here I'm doing the contact. But in case if I do email, click on save. Now what is happening? It is, I'm just change the group field. I did not change the aggregate. I just changed the group field. I did not change the aggregate. Now let me move this to the horizontal. Now here email is this side and the account ID. Now what is this email? What is this account ID? Now whatever the email, that is a group field is this side, right? And the account ID is aggregate field is this side. Now that means what is the vertical you want? What is the here horizontal you want? So vertical one, whatever you see here, vertical one is a account ID. That means vertical one is a aggregate field, and this side, sorry, vertical is a email. Vertical is a email, that is a group field. Horizontal is a account ID, which is a aggregate field. Which is a aggregate field. So you have a vertical and horizontal. Vertical and this is a horizontal, right? So vertical one is this group field. How can you divide it? This is email. And horizontal, the data, the whatever you are displaying the data, which is aggregate field. So you have a two groups. Sorry. Is that clear? So let's move on. Now, in case if you want to delete your chart, you can delete it because you have an option to delete there. Now here, if you click on a setting, you will see the delete chart. If you click on the delete chart, it will ask you that, do you want to delete? This is a confirmation. If you say delete, you can delete it. But do not do the delete in real time. Okay, do not, once you have created, do not delete any list view in the real time production. Production, we should not delete anything, whatever you have created it. Okay, don't delete in the production. Now the next action, next button is a refresh. Edit, list, refresh. Edit, list, refresh. Any time that you wanted to edit or any time you wanted to refresh the list. Refresh the list. Now here you have a two buttons, which is a edit list and another one is a refresh. Refresh is just you are refreshing the list view. You are not doing the complete page refresh. This refresh is different. Whatever on the page level you have, this refresh is complete page refresh. Complete page refresh. And similarly, if you do not want complete page refresh, if you do not want complete page refresh, only the list view refresh if you want, just click on this one. So that what will happen, it is refreshed only the list view. Only the list view it is refreshed. And this one, edit list, if you click on this edit list, in case if you want to modify anything here. Now I'm selecting this. Now if I click on edit list view, right? That means instead of either you can click on here inline editing so that you can modify here, or else if you click on this and you wanted to modify anything. Now let me click on this and I can click on this edit. So now I'll have some details here. Now, either you can click on the inline editing or on the top list, this edit also, this is possible. So which is it? That is also edit list. And this is the refresh. So far we have seen the filter, chart, edit list, refresh. 4 icons we have seen today. Now let's move on. Is there any questions before I move on?
No.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So the questions are, now how many can we display a chart? How many ways we can display?
Three types of.
What are the
Three
3
types.
different ways?
Vertical bar,
Vertical, horizontal,
Horizontal,
donut bar chart.
Okay. How to create a new chart?
By going to settings in the chart option.
Click on
settings and click on view.
object and home tab. Chart symbol will be there. Gear icon.
By clicking on the chart icon, you have a setting icon there. So in the setting icon, the option is called new chart. So when you click on a new chart, you will be able to create it. Now the next one is display as. Display as in Lightning. Display as in Lightning. Now we have this table. Now in this table, beside this side, the refresh button, before that we have something called kind of a list. Now this icon, this one I'm saying it, display as a table. Right, before the refresh, we have something called display as a refresh. Display as a refresh. So when you click on display as refresh, display as a refresh, it shows a table, Kanban, sprint view. Table, Kanban, sprint view. You have an option called table, Kanban, sprint view. Whoever is listening for the first time, Kanban, sprint view. They are the one. Basically, it is how you wanted to view the records. In real time, also when you are working on a real-time project, when you are working on a real-time project, you will see that Kanban models. You will see that Kanban model. That means your sprint is running in the Kanban. Your sprint is running in the agile model. So similarly, Salesforce is also have a Kanban view, sprint view, split view. Kanban view, split view. Now table is nothing but the first option table. Table is nothing but displaying the data in the form of rows and columns. Displaying the data in the form of rows and columns. That means when you select a table here, when you select a table here, your data will be displayed in the form of rows and columns. And the second option is Kanban. Second option is Kanban. Kanban means we can view the data. That means the records, whatever we can see here, the data, the records, these records will be shown in the graphical way. Shown in the graphical way that helps you to monitor your work and keep the deals moving neat. That means right now it is showing as a record, which is a date, kind of a data, right? Now, if you want it in the different way, you want it in the graphical view. That means some box should come in the box, some name, and then some amount should be displayed, right? So it is a graphical way. If you want, you can select the Kanban. Similarly, we have a third one, which is called as a split view. Split view. So split view is nothing but if you want to see the records, right? If you want to see the records in the form of detailed information. Now let me show you that. So here split view is nothing but list view version that shows you both the record list and record details at the same time. It shows record list and the record details at the same time. Now let me show you that. Now right now we are in the table view. Right now, we are in the table view. Display as a table, the checkbox is there. Now, if you select a Kanban, if you select a Kanban, if you are doing it for the first time, it is going to ask some details, just say. The reason it is asking is, do you want to group by owner or do you want to group by somebody else, right? Now here you have only one thing is there. Let me go to the opportunity, it will be clear. Now in the opportunity, let's go to all the opportunities. Now you have here Kanban view, click on the Kanban view. Now when you click on a Kanban view, it is shows in a graphical way, graphical representation so that you can monitor and you can work on it. Now, if you observe here, opportunity has a prospecting, qualification, need analysis. These are the stages. These are the stages in Salesforce, opportunity stages. Now, in case right now, you can see the clear-cut amount. How many opportunities are in prospect and what is the total amount for them? How many opportunities are negotiation phase? That means who are dealing with the price. And what is the amount we have? And who is the person is a proposal? Who is the records or the opportunities in the proposal and what are their amount? Everything you can see. Now, if you want to move your data, for example, you wanted to update the one of Infosys. Here I have some opportunity Infosys. Now I wanted to move this Infosys opportunity, or let's say that I'll do another one. Now, okay. Now here I have a 15,000 is in qualification. 15,000, one opportunity is there in qualification. Now, I wanted to update this person data because right now it is in a need analysis. Right now, this record is a need analysis. Usually what you will do, if you want to modify it, you click on edit and you will update the stage from qualification to need analysis. That's what we will do. But instead of doing that, what you can do is directly you can drag it and drop it here. Directly, you can drag it and drop it here. As soon as you drop it, the total amount will be reflected here. Before it was here, the total amount. Now, as soon as I drag it, the total amount is displayed here. That means this is auto calculation done by the Salesforce. This is auto calculation is done by the Salesforce. For example, this person is in the need analysis. Now he is again going back to the qualification. He is not going further. So I'll move this person to the qualification. Immediately the updates is going to happen. Now the qualification is one record and this is the amount. Need analysis is one record. This is the amount. If I move back to the again here, then it is going to move this. Now here the qualification is 0 and need analysis is the 2 records. So like this, you can drag. So client usually like this Kanban view. Client usually likes Kanban view because instead of modifying, clicking on the edit button, making the changes into that. So what they wanted to see is they wanted to see the record like this, graphical view. Because in the graphical view, clear-cut information, they are only worried about the budget. They are only worried about the budget. Now, if you give this view, they will be easily understandable, like this is the amount and this is the total. This is the total records and this is the amount, everything they can see. Now the third one is split view. The third one is split view. Split view is nothing but it will show the record list as well as the record details. It will show the record list as well as the record details. What is that means? Let's click on the split view. Now the left side is the record list. The left side is the record list. How many lists that I have? Right, I have a 33 items. 33 items. Now here you can change the list also. Now you have to see what are the new this week. There is nothing. Now this is my opportunities. Everything it will show. Right? Now this is you have an option to view the list view. You have an option to view the list view. That means it is going to show the complete record list. But if you select it, instead of going to the another page, as soon as you click it, this right side, you will see the data. Now it is a Burlington. Now it is a different opportunity. I'm clicking on the edge emergency. Now I'm clicking on the different one. I'm clicking on the, as soon as I click on the list here, the right side, it will be reflected. The right side, it will be reflected. As soon as I modify this, immediately it is showing the related to that particular opportunity. This is the split view. I'm splitting the list. So usually what happens here, if I go to the any other, let's go to the contact. Now, if I click on this record, what will happen? It is redirected to the new page. It is redirected to the new page. But in the split list view, we will be in the same page. We will be in the same page. It won't be redirected to the new page. It will be same page. As soon as I click on this, it will be showing that particular details. That's about the different way of viewing the list view, the records in the Lightning. So Lightning has a table view, Kanban view, split view. Whereas Classic has only the one option, which is a table. We cannot show the graphical view. We cannot show the split view. Classic has only one thing which is called as a table, and the option here it is list. Option is list. Now let's go to the classic. Now in the classic, let's go to the opportunity. Now when I click on a go, here is the list. Here is the list. I cannot change anything. If I click on it, this one also, I cannot change it. So it is just a list. It is just a list. It does not have a different view that I can view that data. Next one is a printable view. Printable view in Lightning in Classic. Printable view is nothing but now you have a list view that is displaying the data. Now you have a list view that is displaying the data. Now this list you wanted to print and give it to your manager. That means you wanted to give a hard copy of the list, hard copy of the record list. Let's go to the all contacts. Now let's go to the all contacts. In the all contacts, this side, you will see the printable view. If you click on the printable view, that means you wanted to give a whatever the list of the records are there. You wanted to give a list of the records. You wanted to print it and give it to your manager. In that case, you can print it. So you can select that print view and you can click on this. And then what you can do is, here you have a print option, normal, connected to the printing. So just right click on it, print it, so that it is going to ask you that what is the destination where you wanted to print it and how the printing, when you print it, how the data will be, looks like, everything will be here. Everything will be here. Similarly, in the classic also, you have a print view. You have print view. So let's go to the content. Here it is the. So here is the printable view. Now, if you click on this printable view, it will goes to the how you wanted to print it. This is the new page. It's read-only page. It opens in the read-only page. Right click on it, and then you will see the print option. Then you can select the destination, all pages, how you wanted, color or a black and white, everything you can choose it. So that is the print view in the Lightning as well as in the Classic. Next one is a ascending and a descending order. Ascending and descending order and alphabetic in all Classic. Alphabetic in all Classic. Now here ascending and descending. That means, let's go to the Lightning first. Ascending, descending means here you have a icon. So if you click on it, this icon, if the icon arrow shows down, that means it's a descending order. If the icon shows in the upward, the arrow mark shows as a upward, then it is a ascending order. Similarly, in the Classic also we have it. Similarly, in the Classic also we have ascending and descending. And one more option which is available, not in the Lightning, but it is available in the Classic. You have an alphabet order. You have an alphabet order in the Classic. You have an alphabet order in the Classic. That means if you select here something P, only the records it is going to show which are starting with the P. If you select here G, only it shows the records that are starting with G. Right, like that you can differentiate. If there are no record, it does not show. So by clicking on this letter, it's a starting letter. By clicking on this letter, it will show only the records that are starting with that particular letter. But this option is only available in the Classic. In the Lightning, we do not have it. In the Lightning, we do not have it. Only the way is search option is available. You have to search it here. You have to search it here and search enter so that it is going to display that particular one. The ascending and descending. Along with the ascending and descending, in the classic you have something called a pagination. Pagination is nothing but possible that you have a 10,000 records. 10,000 record at the same page, it will not be displayed in the classic. All 10,000 records cannot be displayed in the classic. So in the classic, the records are divided into kind of a pagination. In first page, how many records I wanted to show. For example, in first page, show only 10 records. And whatever the rest of the records are there, this rest of the records will be displayed in the next. Click on it, next. Now again 10 records. Click on next, again 10 records. So in classic, you can design the way how many records you wanted. Just by clicking on this, you can display it. You can display how many records should be displayed in the first page. If it is at 25, then it is going to display the 25 records and then we can go on next, right? But in the lightning, we do not have that. In the lightning, we do not have. Whether you have a 10,000 records or whether you have a 5 records or a 10 records, 30 records, 40 records, whatever the records are there, everything is visible in the single list. Everything is visible in the single list in the lightning because we have a scrolling and everything, whatever the total records can be visible, everything here. There is no pagination in the lightning. There is no pagination in the lightning. Yes, I'm coming to that point. So there is no pagination here. Now let's assume that now I wanted to delete this all contacts. Whatever the standard contacts are there, standard list views are there. Now we have a standard list views. Now this list views, can I edit or can I delete? These are the standard list view, which is Salesforce has provided. Now, if I wanted to edit this list view, where should I need to go? Click on this setting icon. Click on this setting icon. You can modify here, edit list filter. You can rename. For example, this says that I do not want a all contact, right? They say that, okay, display the customer data. Now, instead of a all contact, can you rename that? Now I'll display here. I'll say that display. Let's say here, everyone contact details. Everyone contact details. I'll click on it, save. Now here it is changed. Now I do not have a all contacts anymore. I do not have a all contacts anymore. Now I have it here, only the one which says everyone's contact details. Everyone contact details. Everyone contact details. Now you can edit that, but the one which is there, recently viewed pinned one, you cannot edit it. You cannot edit the recently viewed pinned. It is not possible. Whereas the other one which has a recently viewed contacts, that also it is not possible. So recently viewed pinned one, recently viewed contact, you cannot do that. But in case if you want like a bulk SMS contacts, if you want to change it, you can change it. For example, if you want to delete it, the standard one, you can delete it. You have an option to delete. You can delete. So all the options are in the here, which I have explained earlier right now in the class. So we have all the delete list view, clone list view, everything is divided into this particular list. Now you wanted to create a same as it is, but you wanted to create a new one. Here we have everyone contact details. Everyone contact details. I wanted to clone this. I'm cloning it, right? And I wanted to create a new one. Similar to this, I wanted to create a new one. So all contacts I'll create it. All contacts I'll create it. And now only I can see the list view, or all the users can see, or a specific group. Let's say that for now, I wanted to see only for me. As soon as I selected it, it is copied everything from the existing one. I did not give the filter, owner by filter, right? I did not give any filter here. How it has taken, when I did a clone, it has taken whatever the options, filter logic, whatever is there, everything is automatically copied to the new list view. You need not to do anything. You need not to do anything. Is that clear?
Yes.
Now let's move on. API name is, in Salesforce, we have a concept called API names. Concept called API names. Why we have this API names? Every field has a label name and a field name. Field name is nothing but API. API name. Now, let's assume that label name is mailing address. Mailing address. Whenever you give a label name as a mailing address, if this is a custom field, okay, if this is a custom field, if you are creating this field, whether it is a field or a list view, everywhere we have a API name. For example, this is a list view name. Let's give a list view name here. All contacts. This is the label name, or which is nothing but my list view name. Automatically, Salesforce convert this name to the API name. You need not to specify that. You need not to specify that. How it is going to convert the Salesforce? Salesforce is going to convert it wherever the space is available. Wherever you have a space, it will convert into the underscore. Replace the space with underscore. API names are always filled by the Salesforce. You should not be entering any API name. In case if you have any problem with the by default, it's not working, then you have to enter that. But when you are entering it, you have to replace the space with underscore. You have to replace the space with underscore. So that why we need is basically whenever you are doing the programming, or whenever you are querying the data, that time I cannot query here. Based on this label, I cannot query that. We always use the API name. If you do not provide a space, then definitely it is a no underscore. API name is also same as a label name. Same as a label name. So in other words, if anybody understands the programmatically, API is nothing but application programming interface. Application programming interface. That means this is for the user. Whatever the label is there, that user can see. That user can see. Whatever the label name is there, this user can see. But what the developer should refer the API. Developer cannot refer the user name. The user displayed whatever the label name is there, that we cannot refer. So developer always refer the API name. Developer always refer the developer name. Now API names does not display here. API name does not display on the user interface. API names does not display the user interface. Let's take an example. We have, there is some custom fields here. On the account level, we have a custom fields. Now let's go to the account. Click on accounts. And let's go to the object manager. Edit object. Now, if you open here account, you know the field called active. You know the field called active, right? Active. How it is displaying it is just a simple one. It is a simple one, right? Now, if you go back to the fields and relationship, how it is displaying active is the field label name. But field API name is a active__C. Now for the custom fields, this is for the custom fields. For the custom fields, if you have a name called mailing address, this is your field label name. Whenever you have a field label name like this, API will be mailing_address__C. __C represents the custom field. __C represents the custom field. If you have mailing address, there is no space here, then your API name will be mailing address__C. So this one is referred by the developer. This one is where it shows on the user interface. Now, when I say user interface, now do you see here? On the user interface, active__, do you see it here? If I keep on showing the active__C or a mailing underscore or _address__C, if I show those kind of things, user cannot understand. Whatever we are displaying here on the record level, this name has to be some meaning. User should be able to understand it. And whatever the API name is there, these API names are basically, this is for the developers when you are doing the coding, when you are querying the data. That time we need to use this API name, developer API name, the mailing address__C. We will see that going further, because right now it is everybody cannot understand. So we will see going further. But right now, assume that mailing address, whenever you are creating it, any custom field or any custom label, whatever you are creating it, it has a label name as a what user can see. What is the name that user can see is a label name. API name is nothing but backend. If you want to code, or if you want to modify anything, or if you want to query the data, in that case, developers are using the API name. API names are used by developers. Normal label names are used by users. This is the blind, you can remember. Now, any questions on the API? In depth, I cannot go how to search, how to get it. Right now, it is not the time to go in depth. So we will go later. But till this point, is everybody clear on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, let's go ahead and see. Now, what are the different ways can we view the list view records? Different ways.
3 ways.
What are those ways?
Table, Kanban.
Table, Kanban, and split
view.
Right, offline. Table, Kanban, and list view. What is the Kanban display as?
Graphical view.
Graphical way.
Representation.
Graphical representation. Graphical way we can view the data. Now, what is split view display as?
Same page we can
record
see
in the form of detailed
Record list and
information,
record details.
record list and record details.
comparative view.
Split view displays the record list and record details both together. Not the just a detailed record, it is basically both of them. Record list as well as the record details. What is table display as?
In form of
Data in the form of rows and
In the form of rows and columns.
Form of rows and columns. Now, what action can we perform by clicking on the printable view?
the hard copy
Hard
of the
Hard
record
copy
list.
will be prepared.
Hard copy
Yes, and
record list in.
Hard copy, we can print it. Right. Now let's move on. Next one is a custom list view. Okay. So custom list view, we just created it. Now let me show you again. So in order to create a custom list view, you have to create a setting, this one, click on a new button. Or if you want to clone, you can clone it. So if you click on a new button, it will open up the new option on the list view. Click on a new option on the list view. When you click on a new option on the list view, what will happen? It will open up the another.
Call shift to the number switched off.
On the list view, click on a new button. When you click on a new button, it will open up the new list view window. This is the window that gets open. Now here you need to specify the list view list name. That means the label name you need to specify. Then automatically the API name is, list API name is displayed automatically based on the name that you have entered in the list name. Now space, whatever if there are any spaces or underscore, whatever the spaces are there, the spaces are replaced with underscore. Replaced with underscore in the API name. Now, example, list name is a Dell account and list API name is a Dell underscore account. Right? And who sees this list view? This is the second one. Who all can see the list view? So here I can see, or all users can see, or else the complete group can see. This is the option. Now, as soon as you create a click on the save button, the list view is getting created. Or else if you want to clone it, or else you wanted to clone it. If you want to clone it, click on the clone button here. In the setting icon, click on the clone button. When you click on a clone button, it will open up the existing record, which are the record you are taking it, which are the list view you are taking it, which are the list view you are taking it. That's the same list view you can clone it. And one more thing, when you are cloning it, so make sure you select that one. So because right now you are in the recently viewed. And if you click on a clone here, right now you are in a all context. Now, if you click on a clone here, what will happen? It will take the existing, what are the filter criteria for all contacts. If you select here, different one, for example, birthday this month, if you select this one, then it is, if you click on a clone, it will take the existing of the birthday this month. Existing of the birthday this month. So you have to be very clear which one you are cloning it. Which are the one you are cloning it, just select that particular list view and then clone it. And then clone it. So that what will happen, if you clone that, it will take the existing filter criteria. Existing filter criteria. So that means for as soon as you take it, now, right now, the Salesforce has made a changes that they are not displayed. Now, sometimes what happens is when you clone it, right now you are in a all contacts. Now I'm clicking on the clone button. As soon as I click on the clone button, now if you click on anywhere here, whatever the copy of all contacts, API is automatically taken, right? Now, if you do not want this API, delete this. And if you do not want delete this and just say that whatever the, if you want to say the new list name, contact list. Now click on tab, automatically the API name gets taken. Now, next one is who can see the list view. Now that you can update it so that you all know right now that is the clone. Similarly, if you want to rename the existing list view, we have seen already, if you want to rename the existing list view, you have an option here, rename list view. Rename is option is available. When you click on the setting icon, you can see the rename option. In the rename option, clone is nothing but for example, let's assume that you have a here, a container is there. Okay. In this container, you have a different items. Let's assume that in this container, you have a rice item, right? You have some curry items. Everything is there in this. Now, what you are doing is whatever the items are here, okay? Why these items are here? Because this is the condition. This container is have a filter. Filter is saying that you can put in this container only the rice item and the curry items. So that is enough for this box. This is enough for this box. Now let's assume that you bought a new container. You bought a new container or a new ball, whatever you think. So new container, you bought it. So now you have to shift similar to the whatever the old one is there. You want to shift exactly whatever the old one is there, saying exactly you wanted to create a new one. That means whatever it has, everything you are copying into the new one. Clone is nothing but copying the existing one to the new one. So this is called as a clone. This is called as a clone. Clone is nothing but copying the existing. In simple way, if I have to say, if you are writing an exam, okay, so whatever the person is sitting in front of you, right? Whatever that person write, you will exactly copy the same thing, right? That means if you look at the in front of you, the person whoever is sitting, that person paper and your paper, if I look at it, it's exactly the same thing, but only the difference is the person name. The person name might be the XYZ and another person might be the ABC. What is that exactly? It is kind of a copy. That means as it is with even with the drawing and everything you have as it is, you have taken and displaying into the new paper, which is nothing but a clone. But only the difference is name is a different. Now, once you clone it, once you copy it, once you copy it, you will be making some more changes, right? You will not be copying from one person. You will not be copying from one person. So not only one person, right? You might be copying from the different people, or you will be applying your own thought process. After copying it, you will add few more steps into the paper. That means you are copying it as well as you are adding your own words into that, which is called as a clone. Clone is nothing but copy plus your own thought process. Copy the existing one. When you are copying the existing one, if you do not like the existing one, you will customize it, you will modify it, right? You will modify, you will make a changes to the existing copy, or you make you add your own one. Could be a modification, could be a new one, which is called as a clone. I'm copying it and making my own changes. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now here, rename. Rename is basically you have already a list view is there. You have already list view is there. And that list view client does not like it. List view client does not like it. If they want to change the name of the list view, if they want to change the name of the list view. Now, for example, here we have a accounts. Here we have a accounts. On the accounts, if you go to the account, you have a list view called all accounts. It's called as a all accounts. Now, client does not like all accounts. They wanted to keep it as a all customers. Instead of all accounts, they wanted to just rename the list view. Everything is perfect, just rename it. So whenever you have that kind of a requirement, just click on this setting and go to the rename. Instead of all contacts, you have to say all customers. Instead of all contacts, you have to say all customers. All customers. Now you cannot change the API name. When you are renaming it, only the label will be renamed. You cannot change the API name. API name, once it is created, that's it. You should not be touching the API name. Very rare scenarios you will be touching the API name. I'll tell you that going further. But at this stage, we are not going to touch any APIs, especially for the list view. Once it is created, once you create the list view, we are not going to change the API name. Rename is only to change the user list view name. Now, if I change this all customer, it will be changed to the all customer from all accounts. So renaming is nothing but you are just changing the name. You are just changing the name. You cannot change the API name. API name does not change. It's a grayed out. Now this custom list view visibility, we will see it later. Now till this point, is everybody clear on this?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's take a homework. Create a list view on contact. On contact. List view name. List view name. Keep it as a contact title. Contact title. List view name is contact title. Filter. Add the filter here. Field type. Put the field type equal to contact. And logic is equal to, and the value is BP. Value is BP. Now, what is the field type? All these things. Now, if you go here and if you click on this filter, Now add filter. This is the field type. Field type is contact, right, equals to VP. We have a something called on the contact level. Let's go to the contact. Now contact title. Where it is. If you go here, contact details. Let's edit this. So you have a title, right? This title, the data has to be there. In case if you do not have a data, then it will not be displayed anything. So you need to create a data here. So title is the one. Now here field is title contains. This is the field name is a title. Operator is a contains. Operator is contains. And value is VP. Value is VP. And then visible to all the user. Visible to all users. Similarly, the second one, create a list view. Create a list view on opportunity. On opportunity, list view name. List view name. Closed opportunities. Closed, lost. Close lost opportunity. And filter. Filter you need to put field is a stage field. Operator is equals to, and value is a closed lost. Value is closed lost. Now visibility to only I can see. Visible is only I can see. Only I can see. That is the second one. And the third one, on account, clone existing all account list view, account list view, list view name, list view name is, let's say that direct customers, and filter is on the account we have a field called type, operator is equals, and value is customer direct. There is a quick list value customer direct. Now fields to display. Fields to display. What are the fields? No, you don't know how to display these fields. Okay, give this exactly. Field type like this, visibility is to all the users. Right? And the fourth one, on account, rename list view name. List view, which list view? From all accounts to all customer. Right now, whatever I have done it. This is the fourth one. That's all for today. That's all for today. Is everybody noted down this assignments? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you scroll to the first one, ma'am, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Got it.
Okay. What do you mean by can you print it to PPT? Do you want me to send the PPT? You are asking the PPT? Okay, PPT if you are asking. Yes, I'll be pasting this into the PPT. So this will be their homework, I'll be adding there. In the developer edition, so we have created the developer editions, right? So we will be creating you have to do the assignments in the developer edition. Now, before that, whoever is, we are done with the assignments. Whoever wants to leave, they can leave on. Can you explain the clone with example? No. Okay. Clone. Twins. Okay. Do you know that twins concept?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So twins is basically when the baby is born, you will see that they are both are same, right? The twins are both are same.
Yes.
Exactly copy of the other person, this person is also same. But as they are going the twins, as they are growing in their career, like they are becoming like they are growing it. So when they grow it, the twins has a possible that the way of, not all the twins, but possible that few twins has the thought process might change. While they are growing it, they might change their thought process, and the dressing style also they will change, right? They are actually the cloning. Cloning is nothing but copying the exactly the same as it is, but adding your own thought process, modifying your own way, or adding the new things there. You are cloning the existing one. That means you are taking the as it is that I have the data. Deep is a girl or a boy. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if I have to give another example, like when we go for a stitching, okay, when we go for a stitching, we will give the old cloth and we will give the new cloth, right? What we will say, exactly same fitting I want with for the new cloth also. What I'm doing, I'm cloning the old one, the structure, whatever is there, the stitching is there, whatever the old one stitching is there, exactly I'm putting to the new one. But the cloth is a different. The cloth is a different, and I'm telling that some modification. Do this way, but few modification on the new one, which is I'm cloning it. That means I'm taking the existing one and I'm adding few more modifications on the new one.
Okay. Oh, just name is different, but other
Yes.
than that, other okay.
Yes.
In a Salesforce, where we see that